Hello everyone, Frankie Day back here again on YouTube. I have another build I'd like to share with you. This is a classics plastics I had for many years. Uh, Before I like to present the aircraft model to you, let me talk about the kit. This is a 1957 release of the Monogram's HU SA-16B Albatross, and scale's 1/72 scale. And I bought this back in 1957 and built it in 1962. I remember the cost of the kit cost me $1.49. With tax and all, it was $1.52 out the door. It's been on my domains all those years. And it's a very easy build to do. My builder could build it in an hour, and you're out there either hanging up or playing with it. It's a gimmick model. Monogram was very, very good in gimmicks. They were the first ejection model, plastic model company that released a great scale of gimmick models, and they're very accurate too. And they're more or less that's what sold the airplane with the gimmicks. Nowadays, people are pretty much into accuracy and scale and nitpicking here, nitpicking there, and gimmicks ain't one of them. So it's a pure gimmick model. The landing gear in this model is fully retractable. It still works. Propellers still stand. It comes with a simulated J2 life raft with a survivor sitting on there waving his hand. It comes with 3 crew members. You have the crew master, the cargo master, and he's on the aft of the fuselage with on the side of the exit door, throwing a life ring to the survivor in a flying pose. But it's a beautiful model. It's pretty right on. I could be comparing it next to my Albatross I'm building now by Trumpeter, and it's summed up pretty much in dimensions in the same thing, although different. They're reduced to different eras of time, but on this kit, the only con there is on this kit is just over riveted. Rosie River had a good time putting rivets on this model, so when I built this kit back in 1962, I didn't go ahead and sound the rivets off. I just went ahead and left them like they were, so I just left well enough alone to do it out of the box and went from there. And anybody getting this kit, be sure to take some wet sandpaper and sand off all your rivets. That'll bring down lower relief. It won't stick up so much. Let's make the decals stick better. The decals on this kit were thick. Today's standards are ancient. They're a dinosaur, and most modelers would have a set of decal like that. They just throw it away. Get one from micro scale. Here is my 1957 release of Monogram's 1/72 scale HU-16B or SA-16B. They changed designations after the Korean War to HU. Now it used to be SA. Here's the Albatross. Looks like a nose wheel starting to come down. There you go. Nose wheel down. It's probably the first time I've seen daylight in all those years, guys. I get a little closer to this webcam and give her a little fast walk around. You know, even today, this kit is a very good kit. It still stands up well and holds its weight in gold. They gave you a ladder right there for the landing mode. When the landing gear is lowered, so the crew member can crawl inside. But like I say, they gave you a little life raft, simulated water with a survivor in a life raft waving the plane. You got a crew member right here, which is the cargo master. He's throwing you a life ring so he can. The cockpit interior of this thing ain't nothing. All it is 2 pilots on the floorboard. No control panel. And like I say, the landing gear is pretty functional in this kit, guys. You guys probably get a kick out of this. as you can see, the landing gear is coming down, and it's locked. That's one of the most outstanding features of this aircraft, which really sold the model at the time. And as you see, landing gear in this model is fully functional. I preserved it as I built it. You got to use minimal enough filler putty to fill in the seams. The seams weren't too bad. Around the wings is a little thick. When the outer wing panels join the center section, there's a little bit of a gap right there. So what you do, say using putty, the best thing to do is get yourself some 2 thousandths, 20 thousandths thick sheet styrene, and fill sheet styrene around where the wings, outer wing and the center wing join together. The sand weld, and put a little putty on it like that. Sand, wet sand, prime, and paint. The model was airbrushed using aluminum paint. The airbrush I had at the time was an old Badger airbrush I had. And it had its limits. And so the airplane was quickly painted using lacquer. Not now, I used lacquer on it. It was DuPont aluminum. That's what I used on it. It came in a green can. And I mixed it with lacquer thinner and blew it out to my airbrush and put it on like a plating effect, which worked quite well. The plane was sealed with Future. As a sealer to keep the aluminum on there. And it's still in its entirety for all those years. I don't know if they make this model anymore. I mean, I haven't seen the model shelf since at least the 1970s. Last time I seen them, I remember down, Kmart used to stock a lot of those. Of course, they were a different paint schedule. They were all Coast Guard, all white with a day glow, red wingtips and fuselage band on the forward section of the fuselage, and also the tail fin. It was all red, and mostly they were produced in the Korean War version, all aluminum with high visibility yellow. Oh yeah, while I'm at talking about decals, well, I was talking about my trumpeter kit. They don't give you the decal now. This is a decal that came with this kit. All these decals came with this model. The decals on this model gave you the visibility walkway on top of the wing, and also your band, your tail band. And on a trumpeter kit, it don't give you that. You got to paint that, so you got to mask it down and paint it. And for the border lines where the black goes at, use decal striping on it. Or you just go ahead and paint black. But I'm quite certain, as I speak right now, that there's probably a decal company making a decal of that right now as we speak. If that's good, that's great. So anybody's got the trumpeter kit in 1/48 scale, you may want to hold on a little bit till that decal's available. In other words, go for the ultimate challenge. Do some masking and paint it. Anyway, anybody interested in obtaining an Albatross like this, the best choice to get is on eBay, because ain't nothing that place don't have. I'm quite certain you want to cross them, you can pick them up hardly for nothing, with chump change. Well, the old handful grandfather clock has given me this. So I'm going to sign up right now, fellas, and I'll be back with another classic build for you, and probably another update on my Albatross. And may God bless, and happy modeling, and please subscribe, and thank you very much for your comments. I'll comment you guys back on the fly, and you guys are great, and y'all take care, and we'll catch you on the next YouTube presentation. Bye, fellas.